Hey y'all, hi. Okay, so for some reason, my handbag collection has swelled this year. There are a lot of brands making beautiful bags and doing what they call product seeding, sending samples to content creators for review. And for some reason, I've been looped into a lot of brand campaigns like that this year. Maybe it's the kind of content that I'm now making. Whatever it is, I've ended up with more beautiful handbags than I ever dreamed of owning. And I have strong opinions about them. I'm sitting down, I have my water, I have my drinking chocolate, a mild stimulant, and I'm going to review them all in a leisurely and thorough fashion. However, this would be an unrealistic handbag collection for me if this wasn't my job. For me, in a different life, like in a different timeline, as someone who likes to have an amount of stuff so that it all gets used a lot, the ideal handbag collection would be a fraction of this size, like maybe 4 or 5 bags, each one serving a distinctly different purpose. This collection is overwhelming, actually, for me. It's hard to figure out how to store. I always feel like I'm not using my bags enough, like I'm not rotating them enough, but that gives me information, like which ones I do use in the context of this overwhelming collection, gives me information that could potentially be useful to you. What is practical? How are they to carry? How are they to style? How are they getting used over time? That's what I'm here to tell you, to provide for you that information. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm going to sit back. I'll try to be concise, but I also want this to be calm content. So those are the goals, and let's get into the meat of the video. Okay, we're going to go roughly in ascending order. So starting with the smallest bags. The first group is my extra small bags, although the largest of them are really pretty spacious, everyday carries. The smallest of them are really small. We'll start with the smallest. This first bag is a total outlier for me taste-wise in my collection. It's purple. Most of my bags are in neutral colors, although the small bags are the most dynamic in terms of color and texture, which is actually, that makes sense to me. This was a brand gift recently from this brand Aest Studios. They make camera bag inspired bags. So this is supposed to be the exact right shape and size to carry like an old school digital camera. Oh, there's makeup in here. Oh, because I took this bag when I went to see Trixie Mattel do Solid Pink Disco. So I have like a pink highlighter and a pink lip gloss in here. So that's what this bag is perfect for. Wearing to a concert or something like that where it needs to be crossbody but close to the body and you don't need very much stuff. It's the perfect size to fit like just a phone and a lipstick or something. I'm glad I have it in this pop of color because it makes it a little more fun, especially in a bag collection that's pretty neutral and grounded. But I've only worn it the one time. I haven't had it that long. It was perfect for that use. It's really well made. Definitely a brand worth looking at in terms of quality and design, je ne sais quoi. But this isn't the type of bag that is my everyday. This is like a very occasional bag for me. This is a little cream colored, I guess like slouchy baguette style bag from Dolce Vita. This was also sent as PR. It's surprisingly well made. I mean, Dolce Vita mostly makes shoes and they do a pretty decent job, right? It's one of those brands, maybe Steve Madden vibes, not inexpensive, but relatively affordable compared to other shoes with the design quality that they have. Maybe not as high quality structurally, and they maybe don't have the longevity as some other brands that are at a slightly higher price point. It's kind of like this middle accessories brand. Respectable. And I really like the boots that they also sent me. Those like tall black boots are really comfortable. And this bag is beautiful. I carried it for a while because I didn't have any other cream colored bags at the time, and I didn't really have any other small bags like this at the time. It worked. It was a little bit too small, especially for my needs, just for, again, for an everyday bag to grab. It would definitely work for going out to dinner or something, but it's just a little bit too on the small side. The main takeaway for this bag specifically is just that Dolce Vita does make a nice bag. I'm not sure if this one is still on the website, but if it is, I'll link it. This is an absolutely stunning bag from a very high-end independent handbag brand called Behno. I won this in a raffle at an influencer event. So I didn't get PR directly from this brand. They didn't send it to me for review, but they had donated it to this influencer event and it was raffled off and I won it a while ago. I've had this bag for a while. Here's what I can say. I almost never carry it because it's such a strong choice, right? I almost never carry it because it's such a strong choice. I think the silhouette is absolutely stunning. The quality of the leather is absolutely stunning. Quality-wise, for example, this blows the Dolce Vita bag out of the water. Like that was a decently made middling bag. This is like crafted, exquisite exquisite bag with amazing structural integrity. It's got magnets that open and close like this. It's structured, but it's still got a little bit of juiciness about it. It's just gorgeous. The silver is just a really strong choice for me. The times when I have carried this because I've needed a statement with my outfit, because I've been going to something a little bit formal, it's been fantastic. The other thing about it, though, is that saddle bags like this that sort of have this structured shape don't actually fit very much. It's a lot of bag relative to how much it fits, or rather doesn't fit. It's a lot of bag sort of visually. It has high impact. And then it's like all that fits in there is your phone and a lipstick. And so I kind of feel like its capacity and its heft aren't matched. And that might be another reason why it hasn't ended up being one that I carried a lot of times. I have a lot of respect for Behno. Their bags are stunning. This soft leather kind of scrunched clamshell pouch is from Quince, and they sent this to me as part of some sponsored content that I was doing for them a couple of months ago. I love this bag. I have wanted a bag like this for a really long time. This style, like this silhouette, it's been around. I've seen other brands doing it. I love how it celebrates the material, right? The slouchiness of it, softness, the texture, the way that it scrunches in, how it's organic. I love that if you tuck the strings in, you can just like carry it as a clutch. It's pretty spacious. This is an example of a bag where the capacity and the visual impact do match, right? It's like exactly right for what you would need it for in terms of how much it carries and how it looks. I like that this can be kind of formal or informal. I just really, really like it. I've also used it when traveling because it works really well as a makeup bag when you're packing. So I went on a trip where I packed like all of my makeup for the trip into this bag, and then I packed the bag into my suitcase, and then when I got where I was going, I took all the makeup out and put it on the bathroom counter, and then I carried this as my nicer handbag when I was in the city. And that's great. That really solved the problem of how to pack like an extra handbag without damaging it. I've gotten along really well with this. My one complaint, the one negative I will say, is that it's a little awkward with the straps. I've carried it that way. When it hangs from the straps on the shoulder, it's sort of like just this heavy pendulum like clunking around at the end of the long strings. It doesn't have the sort of elegant slouch of some other bags in general. That took me by surprise. When I started wearing it, I was like, oh, it's a little bit just like flying all over the place at the end of a string. I don't think it necessarily looks bad. It just doesn't feel quite as like organic to the outfit as it does when I'm carrying it just as a clutch, which is now what I tend to do. I think that when they sent me this bag, I think it comes in brown, or taupe or something, and that was out of stock. So this was like my second or third choice. I like the color, but I think I would like it even better if it was brown. This unusual beauty. I've had this bag for a long time. It's by a brand called Danse Lente. I think that the brand has folded. I think they were making these really unusual, beautiful, and beautifully crafted, like unique handbags for a while. It says Danse Lente London inside. This bag was on my wish list that my family had access to for a long time. And then my sister bought it for me as a Christmas gift one year. So that's how it came into my possession. It was nothing to do with my work online. I love having this in my collection because it is so unique and beautiful and sculptural. I love the way it looks sitting on a shelf. I just love seeing it. It sparks joy, right? I love owning it. And maybe you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I don't like carrying it. It's sort of like the saddle bag issue. It just doesn't fit very much. It's very stiff. And so you can open the flap in the front, but then it doesn't open at all. And you have to like stick your hand down into this little crevice to get anything. And then the back part doesn't even open. It's just like a flap that flaps up. And then again, you stick your hand down into the little crevice. So it's just difficult to maneuver around and to kind of know what you're dealing with when your stuff is in there. And then it has the same problem that I was talking about with the Quince bag, but tenfold, which is that it has these skinny leather straps and then it's this big chunk, this big boxy chunk at the end of them. I tend to go for softer bags, I've learned, and this is like the hardest bag I own. It's like hard edges, sharp edges, chunky, no give. And so it just feels like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole kind of when I carry it. I have carried it. Sometimes I still do it because it's so beautiful and special. The kinds of places I'll take it, it's like when I'm going to brunch with a friend not too far away. Like brunch with a friend and it's just pretty close to where I am. It's almost like I'm taking a piece of art with me. So I get to brunch and I just like put it on the table next to my plate and it's just like, wow, that's so beautiful. And we appreciate it. And it works really well for that. But use value, this is like very, very high beauty value value and art value and pretty low use value for me. Another one with kind of a similar story. So this is one of the very few actual designer bags in this handbag tour. This is a C by Chloe bag. I bought this for myself with a gift certificate that I had. So it was like $500. I don't think I would have bought this for myself with my money. In fact, I know that I wouldn't. I know that I wouldn't have done that. But because it was a gift certificate, that could have applied to any number of things. It was almost as if I did buy it with my money because I could have bought something more practical or multiple things that cost less, you know, so it's sort of that funny in between area. I didn't desperately want it enough to go like just spending my own money, saving up my own money and then spending it all, $500 all at once on this. It was more a situation where I was like, I'm getting to choose a gift for myself that's really special and that's something that I wouldn't otherwise get. And I chose this. I think I made a good choice in a number of ways. One, the color is a really great neutral that fits with my wardrobe but provides some dimension because it's this burgundy. The same is true of the texture, and I really love the combination of this texture. I like the way that the layered qualities of the shape, the texture, the color, and the hardware kind of add up to something more than the sum of its parts with this bag. I really like this iteration of it. I like this bag when it is made in other colors as well, but I particularly like this iteration of it. I got it for all of those reasons, but also because at the time I didn't have any bag that I could put in luggage that wouldn't take up space, but then I could use as like a day bag when I got where I was going. So when I was going on trips, I was in this situation where I would take like a big tote to be my personal item on the plane, and then that would be the only bag I had with me where I was going, and I was like, I need something that's like small and flat. So this is perfect for that. It's very flat. You can just put it right into a suitcase, takes up almost no space, and then it's a fantastic day to night, versatile, goes with anything bag when I get where I'm going. It has one fatal flaw, which is that barely anything fits into it. It's this saddle-shaped bag issue, and it's stiff, it's flat, it wants to stay flat. You like can't put a pair of sunglasses in it because it's flatter than a pair of sunglasses. The leather has so much resilience that I feel like it would just crush the sunglasses. And that's annoying to have a bag that you're taking like, potentially on vacation and you can't put your sunglasses in it. I grab this bag a lot when I'm trying to complete outfits for filming because it's so beautiful and it adds so much to an outfit. I do take it when I travel, but sometimes I struggle with it on those events. Before my handbag collection grew as it has this year, I would often take it because it was like the right color or the right size to go with the occasion or the event. But I must say, because of the issue of capacity and awkwardness, now that my handbag collection has grown to include bags that have everything that you'll see shortly, I don't carry this very frequently anymore. This bag arguably is smaller than the C by Chloe bag, but I feel like it has greater capacity. Even though volume-wise, maybe it doesn't, it's got this round space inside so you can put a pair of sunglasses in here without crushing them. And so it's funny, it's like it's visually smaller, but it feels bigger to me. This is a Songmont bag. I've worked with Songmont a couple of times this year on sponsored content. So this is one of the bags that they sent me to film for that content and also to use so that I could report back in the content about how the bags are. I don't carry it that often because it's so small, and I tend towards the medium and small medium bags the most, right? The middle sizes are the ones that I carry the most right now. I requested this color when I made that sponsored content because I wanted to try styling this color. It was like a concept video and I needed this color to replicate like an outfit. So it's kind of like this is a tool. This bag was like a tool for work. In the everyday, it's not as good of a fit for my needs. However, I really like it a lot. And the thing that surprised me the most about it is how practical it can be. Because I think of this as like a micro bag. This looks tiny to me and I'm pretty tall and big, you know, so it's just like almost like a sculpture, like a pretend fake bag that's a sculpture of a bag. But then when I started putting stuff in it to style it, it was like, oh, actually, I could easily go out. I could even fit a folded diaper in here and maybe a packet of wipes if there were only a few left. My wallet, my keys. I could easily just use this as like an everyday bag, even though it's so small. And I think that surprised me, and I haven't yet like tested the theory. I know that it's true, but I haven't yet carried it, and that's because of the color. It's just really strong and splashy for me. I want to start doing it because recently when I made that video about how to style butter yellow. I ended up putting this bag into some of the outfits because it goes really well with butter yellow. It just felt like a very approachable kind of color interest for me. So this bag has really been on my mind lately. It's interesting looking at these two side by side. They're roughly the same size, roughly the same shape, but this bag, because it's got soft structure instead of those hard edges, feels like it meshes better with the rest of what I wear because it opens up completely and is spacious on the inside like that. It feels like it meshes better with my needs, where I would never consider, even if I could cram a diaper in here, I would never consider trying to use this as an everyday bag because of just the way that one has to interact with it. Okay, the last two are slightly bigger, extra small bags that kind of could have been in either category. I wasn't quite sure which one they should be in. So I just left them for the tail end of the extra small category because they are pretty small bags after all. Look at this absolute beaut. This is one of my top bags right now. I'm going to point them out as they go through, the ones that I'm really loving wearing and that I've been using on repeat. Like I have all these bags. There are always maybe like 5 in active rotation where I'm kind of moving my stuff from one to the other, to the other, to the other. That if I were to boil it down, like these are my 5 right now that I'm really loving. And this is absolutely one of them right now. I love this bag. So this is from Freya, New York. Freya makes vegan bags, so it's not real leather, but they use that kind of faux leather where it's like integrated. The material is an integrated piece all the way through rather than being like a sort of flimsy foam with a coating on it. The quality is really good and, as you can see, very beautiful. Like they've put a lot of care into making it look really lovely. This is from their Exotics collection, which is released recently. Most of the bags they make, and I have a couple more that you'll see as we go through, don't have texture like this, but this one does. So I do love that about it. I love the color. It's the same color as the C by Chloe bag. And so it gives me what I was looking to add to my wardrobe when I bought that bag. This bag gives me that. I love this as a neutral added to an outfit where the other neutrals are brown mostly, or the other neutrals like cream and black. It adds like that third thing, that triangulation. There are so many outfits that I feel like it brings alive. Visually, aesthetically, that's true of a lot of the bags we've seen so far, but I'm not carrying them every day. And that is because they don't have what this has, which is space, my friends. This is the Doctor Who telephone booth of my bag collection right now. It just feels like bigger on the inside, like way bigger on the inside, because this to me is an extra small bag. It's that little like baguette size, right? But it's short as well. It just is, it's very, very small looking and very, very light and easy to carry. The strap drop is just enough that it's really easy to put over the shoulder. It opens with this really lovely magnetic flap and then is so spacious inside. I just feel like I can throw everything that I need into it for the day, including the aforementioned like diaper and packet of wipes and all of the stuff. Even like my kid's water bottle can fit in here. It'll be stuffed if I do that, but a banana, like a snack for him, you know, it's just a marvel to have that along with a beauty. And also it's kind of unpretentious. It has that cool girl, not trying too hard quality in the size and the shape and the way that the straps have this like extra stuff on the sides. I'm a big fan. I think it's called the Hudson bag. And then this is another Songmont bag. So they sent this to me again for me to film it, carry it, make sponsored content about it, which is not this. But this one I haven't had for as long as the blue one. So I haven't had as many chances to carry it and I haven't really bonded with it. It is absolutely breathtakingly stunning. The leather is beyond. This like suede, thick, suede pebbled leather in this sort of swamp pond brown color called agar wood. I really can't get enough. And what I'll say is this bag comes in a larger size. This is, I think, the medium song bag and it comes in a larger size. If this was in a larger size, it would be more useful to me. With this shape, it's almost like it's a little too structural for its size. I think if it were bigger, there would be a little bit more slouch to it and it would feel less sharp. The smaller it gets, the more sort of structured it feels because of the shape. And so for me personally, because I prefer softer structure, I wish it was like a little bit less structured and a little bit more soft. But the reason that I wanted to feature this bag and not the larger version is that the larger version doesn't come in this leather. And to me, it's just all about the tactile quality of this. It is really spectacular. It's like nothing else in my bag collection. But so far, I've mostly just admired it. It is really practical. I think if I start carrying it, if I sort of push through my reluctance and start carrying it a lot, I will come to appreciate even more the way that it closes eases at the top, the spaciousness, because a lot does fit in here. Like an awful lot does fit in here. It's just for me, it's something about the way that it like hits on the body or hangs on the body. I haven't really figured out yet how well we're going to get along in the long term. Those are all of the extra small bags. Let's move on to the small bags, some of which are kind of medium sized. Oh boy, these are some pretty bags. And this is my size vibe right now. So I'm really into this size. I like a slightly smaller bag. Maybe I was just feeling a little too called out by the Forever 31 like a Saturday Night Live sketch where it's like the huge, giant, massive, oversized tote. It's made me want to carry like a slightly smaller bag. Do you think I was already going in that direction on a subterranean level? And then that sketch just kind of like pulled it out of my subconscious into my conscious mind. And that's what I always think of when I'm like thinking about bag size. I love this size that's like big enough as long as it, and we'll get to this, as long as it is well designed, like designed around this principle. This size that is spacious enough to carry truly pretty much essentially anything without feeling overstuffed or bogged down, but small enough to not feel like a massive like weight that you're carrying, not like a huge thing that you're carrying around. Small enough to not feel like a work bag. Like we're still not in the realm of taking your laptop. I mean, my Kindle does fit into all of these bags. I have like an e-ink, like word processing thing called Remarkable. It's like a tablet, an e-ink typing tablet. It only fits into about half of these. We haven't stepped yet into the realm of like true full-on multifunctional practicality. But for me in the everyday, because I work from home and I'm not necessarily toting my laptop around everywhere I go, these are my most used bags right now. Okay, let's get into it. Look at this beaut. This is also from Aest Studios. So I was saying they make camera bag inspired bags. You can really see it with this one. To me, this is a combination of two qualities. Well, three qualities. It's extremely camera bag inspired, which is adorable, very luxurious. Like the execution is impeccable and it's very 90s. This is what they are calling these days, like the East-West bag, the sort of long, like baguette-ish bag that tucks under the arm, but is a little bit bigger maybe than like a teeny tiny Fendi baguette, like that just is like a hot dog, you know, that sort of middle size of that shape. It's very 90s. I always thought 90s fashion was not for me. I always thought I would rue the day that it came back. And now that it is back, I feel like I'm really getting my life in a way that I couldn't in the 90s because I was too young to really like live the dream, you know? And I'm over here in my ribbed baby tee with this like East-West bag and it is so beautiful. They sent this to me a while back. I hadn't opened it because I wanted to like film the unboxing because it was packaged so beautifully. I've had it like out and about in the mix with my bags for maybe just a couple of days now. And I've carried it a couple of times out of the house during that time. And it is so functional. It's really perfectly functional. It doesn't fit as much of some of my other bags of this size category. I can definitely take, again, like the diaper and the wipes, everything I need on a given short trip. Because I haven't had it opened for that long, I can't say whether it's in my top 5 or my most carried current bags because I don't have enough history with it yet, but I could easily see it becoming one of those because I'm really into the styling of this and the combination of practicality and sort of aesthetic wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, next up, this crescent shaped bag from Cuyana. Cuyana makes beautiful bags. I don't know how I got so lucky as to receive a couple of bags in PR from them. I am still surprised that it happened because they are so beautiful. They never miss. I feel you can tell from looking on the website, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of care. However, for me personally, this bag is a little too small. And it's funny, it's like, it's not that it's too small because there are other bags with about this capacity that I think I do carry a lot. And it's not that I couldn't fit. Here's the truth. It still has the paper in it because I haven't wanted to carry it because I feel like, because I have all these other options, which is abnormal and not natural, you know, it's just a product of my situation. It's like, it's really flat. When you look at the pictures on the website, it seems pretty large because it does take up a lot of surface area this way, right? When you see someone holding it, it's like, oh, it's a pretty decent, small, medium-sized bag. But then in reality, it's so skinny this way and the opening is curved. So the opening is quite small. So it just doesn't feel like a very practical daily bag. It feels smaller than it is. It's the opposite of the Doctor Who telephone booth. It feels smaller on the inside. Once I got it and I sort of felt that about it, I just haven't been compelled. I've styled it for videos a couple of times because it is very beautiful. There's something I really love about this like Girl Scout logo, Girl Scout cookie. buckle, but I think it's really chic. You know, the black leather is beautiful. The shape is beautiful. The shape is very now. So I've styled it. I've appreciated it, and I just haven't been compelled to carry it. Many other bags in my collection have offered themselves as more functional for me than this. The thing I'll say about this is a little bit nitpicky, but what are we here for? The leather's so soft. So when we get to the totes, you'll see my Cuyana tote. They're like everyday tote, sort of single layer of really thick, soft leather. It's beyond. It's so stunning. It's so soft. It's pebbled. It's really beautiful. The leather itself is such soft, almost like, it almost feels suede, even though it's not. It's so soft. And the buckle's really big and chunky. And the zipper is really big and chunky. And the zipper pull is really big and chunky. And it almost feels slightly incongruous. It feels like there's too much metal. This is like a soft, slouchy hobo bag shape. And it feels like there's too much metal and it's too heavy for the softness of the leather and the slouch of the shape. I think that's another reason that this bag and I haven't gotten along. The other two Cuyana bags that I have are pretty much flawless, so stay tuned. Curiously, this bag, which is kind of the Songmont version of the same thing, this is the bag. When I first started working with Songmont and I looked into their bags, I saw this and I was like, you're effing kidding me. That is spectacular. And it is. And everyone who came over to my house for like the month or two in between when they sent this bag and when it was time for me to film with it, I was like, you have to see this bag. And I would like take them into my studio and take it gingerly out of its beautiful wrapping paper and be like, look at this. Because it's got this amazing, are you kidding? Like the handbag, dream handbag for evening. It's so, so cute. Like a little dumpling. I love this color, which is called walnut, I believe. You can also loop this. If you saw that sponsored content, you'll have seen this, but you can also loop this through and carry it like that. I like the simpler iterations, right? I really like it like this, and I really like it the way that I had it. It also has a longer strap so you can carry it crossbody and everything, but this to me is like the most beautiful shape for this bag. It has a long strap drop, fits under the arm, is pretty spacious in theory. It's really like you can carry a lot, but it feels so precious. Maybe it's because the leather is so lush and flawless and I like don't want to mess it up. Maybe it's because it's a little hard to get into under here, which is like I'm learning is sort of a thing for me with bags. Like I want them to sort of elegantly open themselves to me. I don't want it to feel like this little like buttoned up sculpture that I'm carrying around and I have to like unbutton to get my stuff out like that. It just makes it feel like the bag isn't my people. I know that sounds crazy, but that really is what I just spoke is the truth. I feel like I'm saving this bag for special occasions. It also just, it's so polished. It makes sense for really high polish fashion, photography, and styling. And it doesn't make as much sense for my everyday life. Could I fit a diaper and some wipes in here along with my wallet and my phone and even my Kindle and my keys? Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to put those things in this bag. I want to carry this when I'm going to brunch just with a friend and it's just like, oh, I'm carrying my extra beautiful high-end bag today. Like that's kind of how it feels to me. So I've surprised myself. By this not being my favorite Songmont bag, which is yet to come. And both of those are crescent-shaped bags. I think I just don't get along with that shape, even though I like it in theory. My friends, definitely one of the top 5 of the year. Okay. This is another Freya bag, Freya New York. So again, like the vegan bags, they just do such a good job with design. That's the thing, because look at this. Everything about it is perfect. The strap drop is so long. It just like ruined me for other bags. I hate it when a bag's like crammed up into my armpit. This bag, it's so low, right? It's like down at my hips when I'm holding it. And I love that for a small bag, for like a bag that fits in the small category, although on the larger side for the small bags, but it's still a smallish bag, right? To me, this is one of my most spacious bags, easiest to carry bags. It's got this beautiful magnetic folding situation. What's in there? A nickel and a false nail. It's just capacious. It fits so much, so easily. And the soft structure that it has, it's just enough structure so that it makes room for everything to be in there without the stuff changing the shape of the bag. But it's a lot of softness so that it meshes with the body, it meshes with the outfits, it's easy to carry. It's just, I love it so much more than I expected that I would. When they originally offered to send it, I was like, oh, that's cute, but it's not really, my thing is a little on the small side. And it's vegan leather, and I really love, beautiful real leather. But it's so beautiful. The color, the rich, sort of slightly warm, it's called pecan, this color. Everything about it. This is definitely one of my most carried bags since I got it. And I've had this one for a while. I've had this one for a long time, longer than a lot of these bags you're seeing. And the bloom is not yet off the rose. Okay, this bag was also a brand gift from the brand Clare V, which is a brand I've loved for a really long time. I was so delighted that they wanted to give me a bag. I was laughing because there is a diaper in it. It has a diaper in it and my favorite lip balm that I didn't know where it was. This is an interesting case. This is one of Clare V's most iconic bags. I'm trying to get the shape correct, although you'll see it in the B-roll. When it doesn't have anything in it, it's just this sort of flat shape, but when it has stuff in it, it creates this really beautiful, like slouchy crescent. So this is like the type of crescent bag, a slouchier, more hobo crescent type of crescent bag that I can really get behind. I also really love the sort of woven suede of this. It's like some suede is turned with the fuzzy side out and some suede is turned with the fuzzy side in, and so it makes this texture. I love this color that's somewhere in between like tan and taupe. There's a lot to love about this bag. The quality is through the roof. I mean, it's really, really amazing, beautifully designed. It fits a lot, needless to say. I mean, this is basically at the level of like a diaper bag in terms of how much it fits. You can just throw anything in here. It's incredibly practical. I carried it for a while to kind of get to know it when they first gave it to me, this bag. I don't know how I can say this. It feels very bread and butter to me. It's just like extreme practicality, both in the way that it functions and in the aesthetic. It makes outfits more casual. The outfits that I usually wear, when I carry this bag with them, it makes them more casual. Whereas a lot of the bags that I've been really loving to carry, what they do is they take a pretty laid back outfit and they elevate it. So the bag I was just showing you from Freya, the brown one, the Chrystie bag in pecan, if I'm just wearing like jeans and a t-shirt and I take that bag, it takes my outfit up a couple of notches in terms of formality and like artistic vibrance. And this Clare V bag, it sort of does the opposite. So sometimes I will choose it for that reason. Like if I'm wearing a blazer and I feel like it's a little bit ostentatious for like just going to the grocery store, I'll choose this bag because it kind of grounds it and makes it's just a little bit more like a really great, beautifully made bag that like a mom would be taking to the grocery store, right? So it kind of balances things out in the other direction. But what I realized after carrying it for a while is, one, for a lot of people, it's the perfect bag because it is very beautiful and the functionality is through the roof and the quality is through the roof. For a lot of people, it's going to be the perfect bag. Two, for me, I tend to reach for bags that function in the other way. So I don't get as much use out of it as I do out of some of my other bags, and it's purely for aesthetic reasons. All right, we've arrived at the last two small bags. They're baby and baby. They're my baby and my baby. But there's like, it's like baby and real, true baby. Okay, this Cuyana bag. I don't know if they still on the website. I think it might have been limited edition. Oh no, it's still on the site. The mini double loop bag in Mocha Croco. My fear in this moment is that my camera work will not be able to adequately capture how stunning this bag is. It is so great. I love that it feels so vintage because of the color, this like rich, deep chocolate croc and this like big croc embossing. It feels so vintage, but it also feels so modern because of the soft structure, because of this double loop situation. I love it because it's got the edges of, for example, the Danse Lente bag that was like really, really hard. It's shaped like that. This is shaped similarly. It's bigger, but it's shaped similarly to that bag that I love aesthetically, but don't get along with practically. But this one is soft. It has softness to make the structure more wearable, more bearable, to make the structure fit with the everyday. And that is true on a practical level as well. The opening is similar. It's actually designed very similarly to the Danse Lente bag. In the front, it's got like a flap that opens, but because it's soft, oh, there's something in there, a program from my visit to the Hirshhorn. Because it's soft, you can open it and so you can really access the stuff that's in there really easily. And then in the back, it doesn't have a flap, it just has an opening, but that's like perfect for sliding your phone into. And it fits so much. It's a small bag, but it fits so much because it has that slouch. This is an example of soft structure done really, really well, leaning more into structure, but still working. And then the fact that it has this really beautiful embossed leather, that it's this color, everything about it to me feels perfectly balanced in a way that keeps it intriguing, keeps it functional, and keeps it as kind of like a live wire in my wardrobe. That said, it's not in my top 5 right now. And I don't know if that fact sort of belies everything that I've been saying, because everything that I've been saying is true. I wonder why it is that it's not in my top 5. I think it might be because it's only a crossbody. I think it's because it just has this one really long strap. I've found that I really, really like bags that have like a short, they are like shoulder bags, but with a pretty long strap drop rather than like crossbody bags. So I wonder if I shorten the strap on this, like how short would it go? I think maybe if I shorten the strap on this to make it a little more of a shoulder bag, I'll carry it more. I'm going to give that a try. And finally, Baie number 2, my actual baby, the Songmont Gather bag. Y'all, so Songmont, I've worked with them now a couple of times, and they sent me this bag as part of the second sponsorship project they did with them. And they were like, can we send you a Gather bag? Because like those are the bags that we're promoting right now. And I looked at them and I was like, I guess, but it just didn't seem like my style. A lot of them, they have all these charms on them, which I actually have come around to thinking that looks really cool. Like everything about the bag has sold itself to me. But initially I was like, oh, I'm into more like structured, polished, sculptural bags. And that just looks more like a hobo bag. In real life, it is sculptural and structured and polished. Like the quality is just, it just screams quality. It's so luxurious and luscious. I even love it with like the charm hanging off of it. I don't have that right now because this is my favorite iteration. Just this handle, which it doesn't have a super long strap drop, but I can fit it under my arm pretty easily. I love just taking it by its little strap and holding it in my hand. It's way more sculptural looking and feeling in person than I was expecting it to be. But then the fact that it is a slouchy hobo bag makes it so practical. So practical. It's cavernous and it's so easy to find things in here. There are pockets on the side. There's a zipper pocket. There's this legendary like back pocket that you can put stuff in. It is so functional and such a pleasure to use. This is definitely in my top 5 right now. I will say I wanted the black one and it was out of stock. So they sent me this ebony color, which I actually love. A lot of bags, it's like I have a type, this like extremely dark brown with a slight warm undertone. The other bag that I just was holding up was very similar to this in a lot of ways. It's so rich and deep dark that it almost looks black. It probably looks black on screen right now. Yeah, actually, I don't know if they offered to trade it, for example, if I could switch this out for the black one, which is what I initially wanted. I don't know if I would do that. I think this color is part of what makes it so wonderful. It's like slightly off black. There's something elevated about that. What a bag. Took me completely by surprise. How much I love it and how much I want to carry it instead of almost any other bag took me completely by surprise. I think in this size category, this is definitely my favorite bag right now. The Freya Chrystie, I've worn it more because I've had it for a lot longer. I've had it for like a year longer than I've had this one. So that one's definitely more tried and true. But in this size category, this is currently my favorite. Medium, which is like pretty large, just not totes yet, is a pretty small category. A really interesting group. I only have 4 bags that I feel fit squarely into this size category, like a medium sized bag, a pretty hefty sized bag, but it's not yet a large bag, which are like my totes. There's a white one, a yellow one, an orange one, and a black one. They're all quite different. Like they have different qualities, kind of. Yellow, orange, and black all have sort of something in common, but this white one is pretty unique to my collection and unique to this category. This is a Mansur Gavriel bag that is, I mean, it's not a designer like Chloé, but this is a designer bag. Like, this is a really high-end bag. I bought it myself secondhand. It was used. It was still maybe a couple $100, less than $200, but it was definitely an investment. It's also like maybe a third of what it costs new. I remember it was way less than half of what it cost new, probably more like a third. I don't really have any other white bags. Oh, that's not true anymore. At the time, I didn't have any cream colored or white bags at all. I still don't have any that are this bright white. And I do wear bright white quite a lot. So it's nice to have that in my bag wardrobe. This is it's like a single layer of slouchy leather. It's really lovely to wear. It looks really good. It elevates any outfit. It's obviously very spacious. Like you can fit a lot into it. Its one flaw is that because it's this thin, soft, large leather pouch, it can sort of take on the shape of whatever you put into it. It doesn't have enough structure to keep its shape against something like sticking out from the inside. So even though it's in this category of larger bags and it's very spacious. If you put too much stuff in it, it doesn't look or feel good. It sort of weighs it down. So it's funny. In actuality, it's sort of a smaller on the inside situation because if you stuff it to the brim, it loses all of what's great about it, which is sort of the casual slouch, the high-end sort of feeling. You can just kind of tell there's something about this bag and it's really beautifully designed. That's one of the reasons I sometimes choose not to carry it. Recently, I also haven't been carrying it that much because it's so bright white. And I've been doing less matching with my bags and my clothes lately. It used to be that I would only wear like 2 colors at a time. So if I was wearing a bright white linen shirt or linen pants and then some other color in my outfit, I was looking for like a bright white bag, and I always really appreciated that this would go with my bright white clothes. And lately I just haven't been as into that. So it's kind of taken a back seat lately, this bag, but I've loved it a lot and I'm glad that I bought it when I did. This is also a designer bag. This is a true designer bag that I also got secondhand. I got this from the Real specifically for my recent video about styling butter yellow. I was looking for a yellow bag, a butter yellow bag, so like more pale yellow. This is a richer yellow than any of the other butter yellow things that I had in that video, but it was nice to have something holding down that end of the spectrum of butter yellow. This is a Givenchy bag, and I think it was probably really expensive when it was new. Like I've looked it up and I think it's like thousands and thousands of dollars. It's like one of those. It's really beat up, and it was on the Real at sort of a rock bottom price, and then they were also having a 50% off sale. Still, I think that it was something like $150 that I spent. I had like a budget for that butter yellow video, and this is by far the most expensive thing that I bought to make that video. It's a little bit of a strange situation, right? Because I got it just for that video. I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. I haven't really worn it. I got some like leather cleaner because I was hoping to bring it back to life, and I just haven't done that yet. It looks pretty, in real life especially, it looks pretty like beat up around the edges. And there are some things about it that aren't going to come back to life because it's like the leather's picking, sticking up, and has little picks in it. But it definitely served the purpose for that video. It's boxy. That's the thing about this. It's boxy. And I know now, I've learned recently that I prefer soft structure, and this has like structure. It is large and it's boxy. I haven't been like dying to carry it, but I wonder if once I clean it up and it's like looking a little bit better, I've just been saving it for the video. I like played around with styling it for the video. I keep trying to show you the inside. It's very spacious. It feels luxurious. It feels kind of like cool in this vintagey way, even though I don't think it's like a vintage bag. It's definitely like beat up, secondhand, very unusual Givenchy bag. Recognizably that. So it's like weird pocket underneath. But I don't know how well I'm going to get along with it because of the issue of its boxiness. So I might end up cleaning it up and then just consigning it like where I live and selling it on. We shall see. I've never carried it. I just have it as a tool for work. This, on the other hand, this is my sort of original great bag. This was a gift from my sister probably 7 years ago. It's a Polene bag. It's the Polene Numéro Un. I've worn it a lot. It looks great on camera. This happens every time. In person, it's very worn. Like you can really see the grunge around the edges. And so I always think of it as kind of like at the end of its life. And then I hold it up and I look in the camera monitor and I'm like, wow, it looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. Polene makes unbelievable bags, like unbelievably stunning bags. Sometimes I look back on the time that I spent that $500 gift certificate on that Chloé bag, and I wish I'd bought a Polene bag instead. I would much rather have another Polene bag than that Chloé bag because, oh my gosh, I feel like they're doing some of the best work out there in bags, especially for the price point. They're not inexpensive, but like Givenchy was charging thousands and thousands of dollars for that bag when it was new, and I would so much rather have this. I think that this is like $450 or something when it's new. What is there to say? Even though I've carried this so much over the course of its life with me, I have found it to be a little bit of an awkward size. Like it's too small to fit my Remarkable tablet. It's too small to fit a lot of like notebooks. It's definitely too small to fit a computer. It's not really designed for that kind of thing either. A book, maybe, like, yeah, a couple books, but then it's like too big to comfortably carry as just like a small bag that you're taking around town. It's interesting to have, like, I feel like bags in this medium category should be extremely practical because if you're going to carry a bag that's got this much presence and is sort of like this much body on your body, then it should be really, really, really accommodating. This bag is just, it's not that accommodating. It's not like it's hard to get into. It's not like it's hard to fit. It does fit as much as you would think it would fit. It's, again, it's that incongruity between the visual impact and the physical presence of it, the size, the amount of physical space it takes up, and kind of the amount of visual bandwidth that it takes up. The incongruity between that and how much actually fits in it and what you actually would use it for. Because I have found myself carrying it for things like to go to the theater. Like there's a theater program in here. To go to a museum or something like that. And it's just everything that I carry this for, I could carry a bag from the small bags category. I feel like it is a small bag in a medium bag body. So it's like, it's smaller on the inside. That's kind of how I feel about that. That is not to say that I have any issue with this because I've loved this bag for a long time. I love how it looks and I love having it. But functionally, that is one of the things that has kept it from like staying in my top 5 basically forever. Because based on the looks and the sentimentality, otherwise I think maybe it would. And finally, in the medium bag category, my actual baby that I birthed from my womb. I love this bag. And actually, it's good that so many of the other bags that I like carrying right now aren't black. Probably good because this one is, and this is, it's like the perfect hefty medium-sized soft structured tote. This is from Fabrique. I talked about them recently because they recently sponsored a video and I talked about this bag in that video. I have been using this bag almost exclusively. This is definitely in my current top 5 and I think is going to be for a very long time. It is just so beautiful with everything and so practical. I just feel like it's speaks of, I was about to say quiet luxuriousness, but I don't mean that. Like, I mean, yeah, it could fit with a quiet luxury aesthetic, but I'm not like after quiet luxury as a vibe. I'm after something a bit more dynamic than that these days. I feel like a little bit more fashion edgy. And this works with that. It works with my goals of having a little bit more edge than just like the blandness of quiet luxury. It also does speak quietly of luxury. And so it elevates whatever I do with it, whatever I wear it with, so much, just vibes wise. It's just so good. You can just see and feel that there's something special about it in the way that it's designed. I won't go on. There's more footage of it in that other video too, if you want to see. It has this ingenious flap lock. So the flap, if you pull on it straight out, it doesn't open. It would be really hard for somebody to like pickpocket you in this purse. It's really amazing. It's very secure. If you pull on it, it's like locked. You have to like pull down and then up. It's like unhooking it down and then up, which is when you know how to do it, it's very easy. It never gives me any trouble, but it would give someone else trouble if they tried to do it. And then the second flap, you have to kind of like pop with your thumb. So it's also sturdy. It's just amazing. These flaps, the leather is already wearing in beautifully, like aging beautifully. I really need to get myself together, but I am pretty obsessed with this bag. I couldn't believe it when they sent it to me. I mean, I know it was for sponsored content. Still, when I opened it, I was like, I can't believe this is my life. Like this is, I feel so lucky to have this beautiful bag because it's just so fundamentally quality. It's such a building block of a quality wardrobe and it just carries absolutely everything. It doesn't quite fit my huge laptop. I have like a 16-inch MacBook Pro for editing. It doesn't quite fit that. But if I had a smaller laptop, even like I think a 13 or 14-inch MacBook Pro, it would definitely fit. And it feels like the kind of bag that's designed to be able to be a work bag like that. It fits because of these double flaps with all of with those 2 compartments and a lot of zippered and pocket compartments inside of them. And then this third space in the back that you can, I find this really useful for sliding like my keys and my phone into because that pocket's pressed right against my side and I can just reach right in and get my keys if I'm like out and about. It fits so much more and handles the weight so much more elegantly than so many bags roughly this size and even some bigger bags. So for example, clearly it's bigger than the Polene bag, like it's visibly sort of a half size bigger. Visual impact wise, they're like the same, right? They fit in the same category of bag. I feel like that's true of the yellow Givenchy bag too, right? It's pretty much the same size, but this bag fits many times the amount that fits into those bags. And again, handles the weight in a really elegant way. okay, I've got to move on, but I love it so much. It's called the Rialto bag, that bag. It's inspired by the Rialto Bridge in Venice. It's interesting. It's like when it's full and it's locked, the flaps kind of bow out in this very elegant way. And I think that that's like the bridge inspiration. It's so pretty. Okay, we're on to the last category, which is large bags. Let me get them lined up. I'm realizing as I line these bags up, so I've been going from smallest to largest within each category. I don't know if you've noticed, but that's what I've been doing. I've really been trying to go from smallest to largest overall. In this category, it's difficult to organize the bags from smallest to largest because when a bag is this big, like when it gets to this size, a tote, the amount of stuff you can fit in it doesn't just depend on how big it is, it depends on its structural integrity. How physically big the bag is. If I lined these bags up in order of how physically big they are, physical size, like measuring the inches, they wouldn't be in order of capacity. Does that make sense? I'm going to go through sort of doing my best to give it to you in order of capacity. No, I think I'm going to go in order of physical size. I'm going to try to go in order of physical size, but I'm going to be letting you know along the way which of them have bigger or less capacity, especially relative to their size. The physically smallest bag in the large bag section is this enduring beauty. I mean, isn't it after all these years still such a stunner and like just as glossy and beautiful as the day it was born? Maybe even better because now it has a little like slouch on it because I've worn it so much. This bag has been bandied about as a dupe for the Dragon Diffusion bag. This is leather. This is woven leather. This one is from a brand called ALTICA, a cooperative in India, hand woven by craftswomen who've been doing this for generations. I don't know this for a fact, but my suspicion is that this is not a dupe for the Dragon Diffusion bag, but rather that the Dragon Diffusion bag is maybe made by these people or like made in the same place as this bag or somewhere nearby. I think that perhaps these artisans came first, right? I love this brand. I actually really love this company. I have had no contact with the brand actually. I bought this bag on Etsy years ago and I have loved it and I have linked it a lot and talked about it a lot. It is so spacious. So this is an example of this is one of my most capacious, easiest to pack, easiest to carry totes. It is much sturdier and more versatile than some of the totes that are physically larger than it, which we'll talk about when I get to them. I've talked about it a lot on camera, and recently the owner of the brand reached out to me and told for the first time and said, thanks for linking our bag through the years. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know you knew I was doing that. But also they recently got like kicked off of Etsy from some technical glitch. It's like Etsy mistakenly sensed bot activity on their account, even though there wasn't any, because they're a legit brand that have been like selling these gorgeous bags. And I know a lot of you have bought them too, because people have DM'd me and been like, I got one of those ALTICA Mona Lisa bags and I really love it. They come in other colors and stuff. Anyway, they recently had to leave Etsy because they couldn't get like a real person to respond to their issue. They like couldn't get technical help with being kicked off of Etsy. So they've launched their own website. I'll link it. I just want to share that with you, that you can no longer get these ALTICA bags on Etsy, but you can get them just as easily from their website, and it's totally legit, and that's why that happened. If you've been following the career of ALTICA, maybe you noticed. This was my most carried bag 2 summers in a row. It was like my default before my bag collection started growing in leaps and bounds because of brand gifting. This was maybe my most reliable, maybe my absolute best handbag. It's also multi-seasonal, even though it's black. The woven leather makes it amazing for the summer. And then because it's black, the woven leather works in the winter. I love this. It's like the perfect bag. And the pricing is really good on these. So it's not one of my top 5 most carried bags right now because I've been reveling in that which is newer to me than this. But if we were talking about like top 5 most used bags in my collection of all time, this would definitely be in there. Okay, next up, this beaut. This is the Cuyana tote, like everyday tote, and it also has diapers in it. This is a large, it is a spacious, sort of like fits everything, take it to the grocery store, put all your groceries in, take it to the farmer's market, etc. bag. What I love about it, the visible quality and physical quality of the leather. It is just beyond. It is beyond. I'll be showing you close-ups, but it's so thick, it's so pebbled, it's so structurally sound while also being so soft. soft. I love that. It's really soft and floppy, but it doesn't feel like that is going to compromise its integrity because the leather itself is so beefy. And that is saying something. And I have high standards for this kind of thing. Okay, so I've been beyond impressed. Like, this is the original bag from Cuyana that blew me away and that made me think like, wow, that brand is really not cutting corners when it comes to quality. So I love that about it. I love the way it looks in black. I love that it's big enough to fit my laptop if I need to fit everything. It's like a great personal item for a plane, for example. It's just really, really useful. I am not totally sold on the double handle. So it's got this, like, these handles can tuck in and you can carry it over your arm. I wish the strap drop was like an inch longer. It's enough, but I would feel better if it was an inch longer. It slips off my shoulder sometimes, honestly, if there's a lot in it. The small handles, because the long handles aren't that long, they're just not that long, right? They're not as long. Like, if they were twice as long as this or like even half again as long, then yeah, I would understand the need for the small handles. But because they're not, it's like, what are these small handles doing here? When do I ever need to like hold it like this when the other handles wouldn't work? And then when you hold it like this, the other handles are like flopping all around. When I first saw it with this double handle design, I was like, that seems like not it. And then I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. It has rave reviews. Like, people are obsessed with it. And I got it. And it's like, I am obsessed with it because it's so stunning and so useful. But the double handles have never sold themselves to me. This bag also comes in a version that only has one set of handles and has a zipper, and I wish I had that instead of this. I would prefer that. That would be more my vibe. Just know that. I think this one's a little less expensive than that, and if I remember correctly, this is like, the price is amazing for what it is. And I think I recommended this in my gift guide, and I maintain that this makes an incredible gift, even with the double handles, because it's like, I'm not sold on them, but I don't hate them. You know, and I'm not like, I can't carry that bag because of those double handles. It's just, I find myself, I was hoping that I would learn over time why it's like this. I haven't. That's everything about this except for one thing. Even though the leather is so unbelievably sturdy, it's still unlined. If you put something like a book with a sharp edge, you can still see the outline of that. One of the things I love about the ALTICA bag is that it doesn't do that. It has so much structural integrity. It has more structure. This is soft structure with sort of like emphasis on the structure. This is soft, barely structure, emphasis entirely on the soft. That just matters. Like, when I'm putting together an outfit, when I'm deciding what I'm going to take with me, my laptop fits in this Quuyana bag. It doesn't fit really in the ALTICA one. It doesn't fit very well in there. But when I put my laptop in here and then load it down with other stuff, it's like this big sack of stuff that you can see the outline of through the leather. And so if I am carrying a lot of stuff like that and it will fit into the ALTICA bag, I would prefer to take that one for that reason. So this one has quirks about it that make it a little bit smaller on the inside, in that, yeah, it has a huge capacity for lightweight stuff, essentially. Like, really great for clothes, poetry books rather than novels, like my Kindle rather than maybe my laptop. And that's just because I'm sensitive to, I don't like to carry around a bag that looks like it's overstuffed, that feels weighed down, or that has stuff in it that looks like it's stretching the leather. So it's a little bit of a oxymoron in that way, right? It's so spacious, so capacious. It seems like you could carry anything in it. If you take full advantage of that, it could be too much. Not one of my top 5 right now, but definitely one of my top 5 since I got it, because I have carried this bag a lot. Speaking of top 5, my precious. This is my delightful bag. It's like when my outfit needs a little something, when I need to show my sense of humor, when I need to add like a little something with a little wink, if everything's too serious of what I'm wearing, but it does that, but it's still so elevated, or it does that, but it's still like, you can tell it's a really nice bag. And there's something about when something has a little bit of a sense of humor like that, but it's also really nice, it's serving. You know what I mean? It's like really serving. I carry this bag a lot because it has those qualities. I love adding this to an outfit. I love what this bag does to an outfit. There have been so many times, and you've even seen me putting together outfits on YouTube, exploring aesthetic and fashion concepts. I'm grabbing this bag all the time because it makes it more casual, but more put together at the same time. It adds a sense of humor, but it adds like gravity at the same time. It adds like a sense of handmade goods because it really does feel like, I don't know, like tactile and present, but it also adds polish. It's just like everything. So this is from a brand called Mercules, maybe. I think it's a Spanish accessories brand. Most of what they make are just single color bags. They make this bucket bag in other colors with more finishing, I think. This one's just like a raw edge, a single layer of leather. All of the bags they make are beautiful. But when I saw this one, they sent this to me as a gift to test and feature. When I saw this one, I was like, that is the one for me. I have shocked myself by how much I've carried it and how much I have loved the way that it feels to carry and the way that it looks to carry. So it has all of those qualities, but it's also, as you may have been able to tell, massive. It's just absolutely massive. And because it's vertical like this, it legitimately fits a lot. And because the leather it's not that soft, gooey, buttery leather of the Cuyana bag. It's got structure. It's like a structured, stiffer leather. So even though it's only one layer, it holds its own better than the other one. So you can put like a book with a corner into this and it doesn't show the outline like a sack in the same way as the other one. Just a little more structural integrity to the leather. The one downfall of this bag can be that when I use it as a full-on diaper bag for like an adventure, which I sometimes do because it's so big that anything I could possibly need on like a whole grand day out with my child could fit into this bag. And so sometimes I'm just like, I'm not going to take the stupid diaper bag. I'm going to take this like beautiful special bag. I just put all the stuff in, like the banana, the water bottle, the diapers, the wipes, maybe like a couple books for him, like a toy for him, and we're like going to be out all day. It all fits and it feels great to carry and it's all well and good, except that it's hard to find stuff in it because it's like tall, skinny things. So if something's at the bottom and there's a lot of stuff in and there's no inner pocket, it's just one open compartment, it's hard to organize and it's hard to find stuff in if I overload it in that way. I wouldn't say it's smaller on the inside because I've used it that way successfully so many times and I don't regret it. It's not as easy to deal with as bags that are designed to handle a grand day out with a kid like that, which I'll get to that in a second. What a joy. What a beaut. Definitely top 5 right now in my current life. I carry this bag all the time. Okay, let's talk about a bag that really is smaller on the inside. Beautiful. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. This is a Freya tote. So Freya New York makes those vegan bags, and you already know I'm a massive fan because my other 2 Freya bags are 2 of my most carried bags by far and 2 of my most beloved bags. This, my 3rd Freya bag, isn't that way. I've never really bonded with it, and it's for a couple of reasons. First of all, what's good about it? It is so difficult to find a functional like laptop bag for work that is this structured. It is so structured. Like it is just like it has these soft curves, like really beautiful, structurally rounded, and really like, come on with the design. Like, are you kidding me? It's so beautiful, but it's so sturdy and structured. Most totes out there are soft, like the Cuyana tote. And it's like, you're going to put your laptop in there and like carry it around the city. And it's just this sack of leather. Like, I don't know. I was looking for a structured tote like this to carry my laptop, to go to like a conference, to go to work, to really have like a work bag that's polished, that's beautiful, that fits with my aesthetic, that's also extremely structurally sound and designed to have a ton of work stuff in it. So that's what this bag purports to be. So it does do all of those things. I can't stress enough how incredibly beautiful the design is, and the material feels so good and looks really beautiful too. This is a taupe color. It's kind of green in person, like a lot greener than I expected it to be. I'm so grateful that they sent this to me right when I needed it, right before I was going on that literary festival that I was like a featured writer in, and I needed something like this. I'm so grateful. It's been relatively useful, but I definitely wish that I had it in like a brown or a black instead of this kind of greenish taupe. I do think it's really pretty. It's hard to tell what any of the colors are really like in person on the Freya website. And this one, some of the images make it look really cool toned and kind of ashy, and some of them make it look really green, and it's actually pretty green. It's like sage almost. It's almost a sage green. All of that's great. And in spite of the color, I still think it's very beautiful. It doesn't carry very much though. Like that's the drawback. In spite of its heft, because it is really substantial, in spite of its 3 pockets, there's also a diaper in here and my sunglasses. I've been using it. So, I do use it. Whenever I need to take my laptop out for the day, I use it and it works really well. It has these 3 pockets. It looks like it would be really spacious, like super capacious, but it's so structured, and maybe this is like you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's so structured that you just can't put more in it than the exact size of the compartment. And it's just the compartments are kind of skinny. So I go to load it up. I put in my laptop, I put in my Kindle, maybe my tablet, my wallet, my keys, and then I'm like, oh my God, the bag is full. It feels like it fits the same amount as the Rialto bag, the fabric Rialto bag, except for my laptop. It doesn't fit in that bag. But in every other way, it just feels like less spacious than a lot of smaller bags. And it is because it's so structured. I wanted a structured work tote. And what I learned is that you sacrifice the flexibility of just being able to like stuff in one more thing and then yet another thing and then one more thing on top of that. You like lose that flexibility when you choose this kind of structural integrity for a tote that's this large. And that's also true of small bags. I mean, I keep going back to this one as an example, but in a funny way, this tote from Freya is like the work tote version of this bag. Everything about it, the beauty, the uniqueness, the aesthetic, everything about what drew me to that small bag is what draws me to this bag. And then the fact that it's physically much bigger makes it more functional because I can put stuff in it. It just doesn't have any give. The extremity of that structural quality ends up kind of being its downfall when it comes to something like taking it as my personal item on a plane, which I wouldn't do because you just can't fit very much stuff into it. Unless I was going on like a day trip, if I just really didn't need that much. I think of it as a pretty small bag capacity-wise that happens to fit my laptop, and physically it's like you're literally like you're carrying around a modern sculpture. You're literally just like carrying a sculpture around all day. That one's the Paloma, the Lafayette. They make another tote that's just one big open compartment that I think would probably have been a better fit for me, for my purposes. That fits a lot more stuff. Closing in on it. It's so interesting. Large bags. There was a while there where I was just like, I need a massive bag. Any bag that isn't massive is like not going to work for me. Of course, what I've learned is that the small bags are really, that's the category that I like the most. It's hard to design a good big bag. For a big bag to really check all the boxes, it's hard because the more structured it is, the harder it is to actually fit a lot into it and the heavier it gets. But the less structured it is, the floppier it is and the less sort of integrity it has. That's why I think the ALTICA bags are so genius, because this woven material has softness, but has integrity to become quite large and still kind of hold its own, but be soft enough that it's not too heavy. That's really the best balance, I think, of size and form for large bags. This is, I've learned over time, such a beautiful bag. So this is another Songmont bag that came to me as part of my sponsorship work with them. It is part of their Drippy collection, which is inspired by like dripping coffee bags or something, which I think is so avant-garde. I have learned over time owning this bag that it adds so much to an outfit. It looks so good. And there have been times when I'm just like, oh, my outfit. And then I grab this bag just to see, and I'm like, oh, I look really good. I think it's like the size and the softness and the cream color and the fact that it sort of has this downward drippy quality. It's a special bag. I appreciate it more than I did initially because it's very floppy. So it's really lovely. It does fit my laptop. It's huge, right? This is like a massive bag. This is one of my biggest bags. It's absolutely massive. It does fit my laptop, but it's so floppy that when I load it, I could put just my laptop in here and maybe like my wallet and my keys, and it's fine. I put in my laptop and like my Kindle, my tablet, a book, which that's when I'm really going out to like work. That's what I tend to take. I don't know, my phone. It feels like there's too much in it. So it's one of those cases where because it's so floppy, it's almost like it's smaller on the inside spiritually because it looks so stunning as long as you don't overfill it, So what that means is that a lot of the size is just for effect, unless you're putting something more lightweight. Like this would be amazing in the winter for carrying my tablet, my Kindle, my phone, my keys, my wallet, a diaper, and wipes, and like a sweater. And it's big enough that I'd be able to put the sweater in here and it wouldn't be spilling out. And then it would have a nice shape and it would still slouch and it would be absolutely perfect. Spiky things that are too heavy, too much, it can't quite keep its shape because it's just kind of thin. But the thinness of it is what makes it slouch and what makes it so beautiful. So I've really grown to appreciate this bag more than I initially thought because of its floppiness. I've come to appreciate what the size does for the aesthetic and kind of like what it's really good for, which surprisingly is as much to do with its beauty as with its functionality. If I'm not taking too much, it's very easy to carry this bag because I can just throw it all in there. There is an interior pocket. It is easier to find stuff in here than it is in the yin yang bag when I overstuff it. It doesn't have it all, right? It doesn't do it all. It is really special and really beautiful, and it has limits. I know the video will be edited down, but I've been filming for close to 2 hours, so I'm starting to crash. I have 3 bags left. Oh no, I have 4 bags because inside one of the bags there was another bag, but it's a small one. It's in the wrong place. I'll just show it to you really quickly. This should definitely have been with the small bags. This is by Kayu, definitely one of the most beautiful bags I own. This was a brand gift, and this is like an evening bag. Like I only use this if I'm dressed up and I'm going out, and it's pretty rare, but when that happens, I'm really happy to have it. It's amazing. Okay, this is a Quince tote. Quince, I've said before that I think their leather goods is some of the best value. And well, there's a lot that's good value on Quince. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I particularly appreciate the leather goods. I love my other Quince leather bag. That pouch, I have 2 Quince leather jackets, and they are both unbelievably well made and beautiful, especially for the price. And one of them I bought myself with my own money. This was sent to me from Quince as, again, I was putting together outfits for sponsored content, and this tote went with a lot of the outfits. Then once it arrived, I used it a lot because it's great. It's a great size, and it has a great quality that gives it structural integrity, which is that it's lined. So it's woven leather. It's this like small weave of leather, and it's really beautiful. And then it has this nice sturdy lining. So this I can put my laptop in, and even though it's floppy, it doesn't show on the outside with that sort of stretched over the edges. Feel like I can easily put everything, my laptop, the book, the Kindle, the tablet, the keys, the wallet, the diaper, like everything in here. Like the integrity of the woven straps, the integrity because of the lining, like it just handles it. It's a breeze. The strap drop is nice and low. It doesn't fall off of my shoulder. It's so easy to carry this. It's like a beater. It's beautifully designed, and it can take anything you throw at it. It's like the perfect, very, very large tote. And if I remember correctly, at a really great price for what this is. One huge drawback from this, though, which is just that the leather is like, it looks like the leather's worn away, but it's not. It's just the dye of the leather is like a little patchy. It almost like got bleach splashed on it. Like one of the pieces got bleach splashed on it. It looks at a glance like it's been nicked and like it's wearing away, which is so unfortunate that that's what it looks like, because that isn't what has happened. That just seems like a shame. And I bet not all of the bags, like this probably was just one of the pieces that got woven into this bag when it was getting woven. And it's just like natural variety in the leather. I feel like it's a shame. I feel like it detracts from the impression of polish of this bag. And it's on, well, there on the strap, it has gotten nicked a little bit. I have carried this bag a lot though. I have kind of put it through the ringer. I just feel like compared to my other Quince bag, my other Quince leather goods, including like that duffel, which is an amazing quality, and leather toiletry bags from Quince, this is the lowest quality of like all the leather goods that I've seen from Quince. So it's a shame visually it is the lowest quality, but functionally it's one of the best totes in my collection. So it's an interesting combination because I end up carrying it a lot because it's so functional. When I need to take my laptop, I just want to be able to throw everything in. It's like lighter weight and easier to manipulate than the Paloma tote from Freya, which is just like this huge thing that I'm lugging around. This like big sculpture, whereas this is like effortless. From a distance, I think quite beautiful. Like especially with a good outfit, it looks really lovely. It's not like it looks bad. Just up close, I can kind of see that it's not exactly there. The quality isn't exactly there. And the last two, just really quickly, are the 2 bags that I've been using as diaper bags. And I'm just going to bust through it because I know it's not relevant to everyone. This is my original Mina Baie diaper bag that was on our registry. So I've had this since before my baby was even born. This has backpack straps, which is really convenient. It has a ton of pockets on the inside. It's just everything you would ever want in a diaper bag. Functionally perfect. Size-wise, absolutely perfect. And it's beautiful. And that has been my saving grace for these 2 years because this goes with every outfit ever. And it always feels like it looks good. And I always feel good carrying it. And I never feel like, oh, but I have to take my diaper bag. It's like, I love carrying it. It's lovely. More recently, Joe and I acquired this. It's the Fjallraven Kanken, I guess, duffel tote, right? It's like a duffel. It also turns into a backpack on the back, right? So it's backpack. It can also would be like a large duffel. This is a great overnight bag. When I went to New York for like 3 days by myself and I only took this bag. Like took it on the train with me, carried it around the city. I had it with me when I like went to see a show because I was going from location to location. I wasn't like, I didn't stay a single night in the same place. I've used it for that, but the thing I've used it the most for is going on adventures as a family. So going to the zoo, for example, all day and it's hot and we have to like bring snacks and bring a bunch of water. This has turned out to be better than the Mina Baie diaper bag, which is a little bit, I don't know, it's like a little smaller, a little heavier, a little bit less heavy duty. This is more of like an adventure. It's like a family adventure pack that everything fits in. It's just really easy to carry. And I like the sort of rugged, but sort of still style conscious element that it adds to an adventure outfit. I'm really glad we got this bag. It's kind of expensive. And when I bought it, I was like, oh, I don't know. I just really needed a duffel to take to that New York trip and I didn't have anything. This was before we got that Quince duffel. If I had had that Quince duffel, I probably would have just taken that and then I wouldn't have gotten the Fall Raven. But I'm really glad that I have that because I didn't realize until we got it that we needed to level up to a slightly larger size and sort of more casual bag for everyday adventures with the family. It's like the toddler version of a diaper bag. And I feel like the Mina Baie one was really great for having like a little baby. This one is great for having an adventurous kid and like all going places together. I think my voice is gone. I think I'm not going to be able to talk after this because not only did I just film for 2 hours, but this is the third video I filmed today. I got behind and so I just went for it all in one day and I'm really going to be paying the price. I have loved doing this. I loved doing this and I hope you liked watching it because I could do this with other things. Shoes, clothes. I mean, I like the many facets of my role here on YouTube talking about beauty and consumerism and the human spirit, but I am also in my heart just like a passionate reviewer. I just love to review things and to kind of dig into whether they're working or not and why. My top 5, and it did work out to be exactly 5. I kind of knew, I hadn't counted them in advance, but I kind of knew that there was the top 5. So my top 5 most carried bags are the Freya Hudson, the Freya Chrystie, the Songmont Gather bag, the Fabrique Rialto bag, and the Mercules Yin Yang bag. Those are definitely my current top 5. Those are the ones that are like seriously in rotation. And I do rotate the other ones in, and I do use, especially now, the Fall Raven diaper bag a lot on the weekends. If I had to like edit my own collection down to my perfect 5 practical bags, like the collection that I was describing at the beginning where it's like 4 or 5 bags of different sizes and they kind of serve different functions, that's the collection that I would end up with if I was editing it down today. I think it's kind of a big claim because I have just been like carrying the bags that I feel like carrying. But if my interacting with them and sort of like the use value that I'm getting from them is any indication, those are currently my 5 most valuable bags. All right, I've got to go. Thank you for spending all of this time with me. I hope that it was enjoyable to you. I hope you got some rest or got something done. I just really, really hope you're taking extra good care of yourself right now, y'all. It's tough out there. Take care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your business. I'm cooked.